Hey, hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you guys another replay commentary. This is a bounty hunter game that I played in solo rank the other day. I felt like trying out Ags on him after watching reading the patch because his Shuriken has been buffed and the Ags on him got buffed a little bit. So I was like, hey, let's give this a try. And it was late at night, so I was like, let's play him in a solo rank game. Let's talk about bounty really quick on Dotabuff for him though. The hero has Invis. You have critical strike, you have gold acceleration to you and your team, you can steal little bits of gold every time you Janata hit somebody, and Shuriken does pretty damn good damage, 150 at level 1, up to 375 at level 4. But the problem with Bounty is that he does not offer much in terms of teamfight. He lets you scout opportunities, he lets you initiate and deal some damage, but he doesn't have AoE disables, and this is one of the reasons that people will channel the gold that you get on Bounty Hunter into teamfight items, so things like Vlad's auras, drums, pipes, crimson guards, that kind of stuff. Maybe halberd, solar crest, those kinds of things are pretty common on bounty hunter. Gonna sneeze. So his lack of team fight is part of the reason he's not very popular. So I thought maybe I'll try Ags, make that work. And trying it out felt pretty good in this game. Very common boots. I think Phase are probably core in the hero. Arcanes are definitely not uncommon because you sometimes do want a lot of mana regen. But Phase is going to help you run around really quickly because the movement speed boosts. The damage is not bad either. And other than that, items are kind of all over the place. There's a period of time, like a year ago, where pro players would do like Phase Boots, Drum, SNY, BKB, just like really safe defensive items. That way they could just continue to steal gold, basically. But I'm not 100% if that's the way to go. There's some hero matchups that aren't excellent. You're very good against Klinkso because you can gank him and guarantee vision. But as a whole, Bounty is still kind of in an interesting place. Skill build wise, this is really normal right now. Almost everybody does this. Max is Strike in second. But Shadow Walk, all it does is slow. So it's not important to get as many points early on. Although the slow does last for 4 seconds, which is really nice. So breaking invis with this can be really nice. And the invisibility duration can also be increased also. So with that, let's jump into the game really quick. Oops, wrong one. I'm scared I'm gonna press the wrong hotkey again. Okay, so I don't think bounty support is very good. Bounty support is kind of weak because that was a lot more useful when what you want to do is basically harass people and abuse them in their lanes. That's kind of where bounty support was really good. But it's not good right now because the harassment is. It's okay, but it's not so incredible that it guarantees that you're going to be able to shut down lanes. And there's not as much space in the mid lane, for example, for you to like run around and harass people out of range. In terms of what I bought for starting items, Orb of Venom is really good sometimes on Bounty Hunter, but because I'm the 3 position and I'm against a Lifestealer and probably Grimstroke, then I don't really expect to bully them super hard. I wanted to get a free attack here on Grimstroke, but unfortunately. Okay, I got it. Hell yeah, 9 gold. Maybe 12 gold. It depends how much gold he had left over. If he had no gold left over, then I don't get anything. But I definitely should be harassing at least a little bit if possible. This is basically how you lane him now. You just get Janata and you get some hits in. This was really weird. They kind of let us get this for nothing. I think the Wind Ranger actually had an Orb of Venom here. I'm surprised Lifestealer didn't go for the other bounty rune. I would have done that myself. I wanted to hit him again because I had Janata ready. So, get an extra 12 gold stolen. And it is a lot of bonus damage. 70 is a lot. That's more than a double damage hit. So, it's basically a crit. But in terms of starting items, Stout Shield is mandatory. Tons of regen here. It's just because every time that I go for Janata hit, I'm not always going to trade super well. But I am stealing like a fourth of a last hit away from them, so it's worth losing the harassment. If the proc is ready, you need to hit them first. If you use it on a creep, it will go on cooldown because it's a bonus damage increasing skill. And then from here, I just want to get as many last hits as possible. I got the sentry. That way I could potentially block a camp or deward a ward. I think maybe I didn't buy it myself. No, I did actually. I don't really remember why I purchased it necessarily. Could have potentially hit the Lifestealer with that, but better to get the last hit, obviously. And now that I have a Quelling Blade, I can basically just sit in the lane and zone. Wind Ranger actually did a really good job this game because she's basically fully zoning the Grimstroke, which means it's just a 1v1 between me and the Lifestealer. Which means Lifestealer is going to have to just kind of trade hits with me. Like, he is feasting me sometimes, but Feast level 1 isn't really that great. You don't get that much lifesteal heal from your enemy. I know I could get that because I had the Janata Strike. And sometimes I do have to trade him. If he's running at me like that, I'm getting completely zoned from the lane. It's okay for me to trade hits a little and pop a tango. Got this last hit before Janata came up, which was nice. Can steal another 12 gold.
Yo, this guy has no chill, man.
I just threw the Shuriken because my mana was full and it's a bunch of damage. I figured that'd be okay to do. Going if you're not super contested in your lane and at least you feel semi-safe, this is definitely the best way to do this. Grimstroke is still playing really garbage right now. He should be up here trying to zone the Wind Ranger, but instead he's like playing back here for whatever reason. Feels like I've basically received no pressure so far from Grimstroke, and part of that is definitely the Wind Ranger playing well. That one I can't remember if I regret it or not. I mean, I'm still doing damage, right? It's not all terrible, but the fact that I burned all of my ability to throw a nuke now, I thought was a little bit weird. I guess I just didn't think I would be completely out of mana after I threw it, but it is a lot of mana to cast a Shuriken Toss on Bounty Hunter. So I'm doing really well. I actually have the most last hits in the game at this point in time. I gave another Tango to the Wind Ranger to help him be a little secure here. And now I'm going to pick up a Boots of Speed. I still have a Salve left in terms of regen, but now that I have Boots, I should be able to get more Janata hits when I need to. And then maxing out Janata is pretty normal right now. Again, if I was a little bit more worried in my lane, I could get Shadow Walk at level 2, or maybe even level 3, but now with level 2 Janata, lower cooldown, more gold steal, stealing 20 instead of 12. Only deals 30 more damage, which isn't that much, but kind of curious what our net worths are like right now. I have like 250 more gold than the Lifestealer does. I've got 1 assist, and he has 2 more last hits than I do. So it's definitely adding up. Again, prioritizing Janata over guaranteeing last hits. Also helps that Lifestealer's armor is pretty low. I don't remember if I picked Bounty before he picked Lifestealer. I might have picked early. I think I picked like in the middle somewhere. I think I third picked or something like that. Got about 700 gold now. What am I walking back for? Oh, let's try to bought a bottle. Yeah, I bought a bottle because I was getting low in regen, and I didn't have any mana either, so I thought this would be worth doing. And actually, in hindsight, I actually really enjoyed it. Might have been very different if my lane wasn't going pretty well, considering that my lane is going well, but wanted to pull this creep wave to their creep wave. Unfortunately, my ally aggroed his the range creep, so I had to like run back and grab that. But it's a huge headache to do if your opponent does accidentally pull creep wave, because you basically have to go over there and interrupt it yourself. And now we want to contest bounty runes, but we've been dicking around with this creep wave so much that it's kind of hard. Can't message my friends. Just have to decline. So the reason I did that first before hitting is because it elongates the slow. It's the same as the old Shadow Walk. If you attack while you're going invis, during that 1 second window, you can apply the effects of Shadow Walk without actually breaking your invis. So in that like first second and a half that I hit him with Shadow Walk, but was still chasing him and the fade time was going off, the slow he was being applied by the 14% slow, that starts for 4 seconds. So I just reapplied it after I broke my invis, which basically meant the slow duration was like 5 seconds. Is all. So it wasn't like a huge difference, and it wasn't gonna matter there, because we still got the kill basically, and we were probably gonna get the kill. But that might be something that matters at some point when you're playing Bounty Hunter. So it may be worth keeping in mind that that is still a tool in your playbook that you could use. Ideally, just want to get slaps on him here to steal his gold, but he's playing very zoned, which I think is kind of okay. As long as I keep an eye on how low my creeps are, and I can still come back and get those last hits when needed, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Because it's basically preventing him from getting denies, from him contesting the lane. Those kinds of things. And once in a while he does get too close and I'm able to steal the gold again. Right now I am sitting actually 600 gold ahead of the bounty, which is, or the lifesteal, which is massive. Even though we're at same last hits. And again, this is just because the Grimstroke god's super zoned basically. He got first blooded. And now he can't protect the lifestealer, so lifestealer just has a really tough time playing in this match. In a normal sense. It's pretty good there. Luckily they didn't have vision on yet. I don't know if I should have bothered because I could have. I'm losing like 2 last hits with that, but. I don't know if there's a good way for Grimstroke to outlane a Wind Ranger, basically. That support matchup doesn't look very good for Grimstroke. Maybe I should have hit him instead. Would have been 28 gold steal. Now it's actually really obnoxious because this is pretty close to like a full last hit stolen from him whenever I hit him. Kind of waiting for the slow to end. The bottle felt really good though for keeping my health up. Could be throwing more shurikens though. Could have also given the bottle to Grimstroke or something. Now that I have phase, I can move over a lot quicker. Barely, that was so close to getting that kill actually. I almost didn't get it. Track is very nice against Broodmother right now because he can't go invisible anymore, but because it's so easy to run into trees, you just always can see him. Doesn't mess up your heroes, doesn't mess up your spells. Makes a big difference. I really like what phase provides. I mean, it's been kind of easy, the game so far, because I basically just sit in my lane and I mess with the lifestealer, and then people are fighting in the jungle nearby and I can always help out. That's pretty cool. But here's my starting items: phase boots, wand, and a bottle. And now I grab a point booster. And now my health and ability to fight, it looks really good. My net worth is probably one of the highest. Yeah, I'm really high up there in net worth. Of course, I probably should have tracked him before I slapped him. I could have done bonus damage. But not the end of the world. Gonna hit him, of course. Sure, I can get the last hit. It bounces to the lifestealer, and then once I get bonus damage, I should be able to one-shot that, which I do. I also got bounty runes. This was kind of just like a utter domination moment. Although Brood is also pushing our mid tower, which is scary. So normally what I would do is kind of just follow the lifestealer around and keep slapping him and stealing his gold, but it kind of feels like I should be doing that towards Brood. I also can't use phase. Always track first before you slap. Setting my illusions on him here. Can't really do much to help out there, unfortunately. It's kind of dangerous. Just kind of retracking and stuff. Stout shield against spiders is fine. Trying to track everybody basically. If I didn't have bottle, I would have so much less mana this game actually. If I skip bottle while trying to go for, should have tracked first. I don't know why I didn't. But now that I have phase boots, look how fast I am in comparison. And I got a lot of Janata hits on him too. That was a lot of gold that I just got. Slightly worried about getting doomed here, but kind of felt like I had done my job. I don't know why the Grimstroke didn't cast anything. Did he not have mana or something? Felt kind of weird. The guy was like definitely throwing the game a bit by playing poorly. It's like sometimes if just like one guy plays bad in the lane, it allows your lane opponents to kind of go crazy and do a lot of strong things. And that's definitely what it felt like this game for me. Kind of similar to my out game, I guess. It's like a bad player or two kind of ruined everything. He's actually only got 800 net worth right now on the Grimstroke. Try to lead off the Brood here. Oh god, I really should have tracked him. Okay, I got it. So funny. I'm in Viz this whole time too. I looked really sloppy from my perspective of how I played that, but my net worth is beautiful right now, guys. Look how rich I am. That's what I will do. I did not realize like I was so low. I should have tracked him. It's about the time where you start using your phase boost, but this guy just like kills everybody and chases them down, so I don't get my track gold, unfortunately. Would have been what, 150 per hero? Yeah, pretty good amount. So that's basically the conundrum on bounty, is that like your team ally gold is not bad. It's what, 40, 80, 120 per level, but your self gold is always really high, 150, 250, 350. So what you need to do is you need to turn that gold into something that is useful. Is the conundrum on bounty hunter. If you don't do that, then you are not helping the team in a strong way. I'm still helping the team really good because the game has been going well. So maybe it's like discoloring my view of the hero because I had a good game on him. And it allowed me to buy an item that I felt like might be good. But we'll talk about, I don't know, you can see how strong it is later on as the game continues. I got experience gain. Some games I have been interested in movement speed, just because it's going to help you move around, get more hits on people, steal their gold better, that kind of a thing. But generally people do level the experience gain as higher and as more important. I thought he was going to break my clarity there for sure. If I didn't have a clarity, I would definitely run at him instead. Almost got my fate or my Ags. One of the really nice things I like about Ags though is it increases my raw HP so much that it makes me actually feel like it doesn't matter that I don't have a team fight item or something like that. I just have so much raw health. And if you look at bounties here, look how much base armor I have. I only have, for stats, I have a Blade of Alacrity and a Magic Wand. And if we ignore the 6 armor from my phase, I've got 12 base armor here. Bounty has a lot of armor. So if you just increase your raw health a lot, the amount of physical damage it takes to die is actually a buttload. It takes a lot. And increasing your raw health also means more magic damage too. Not that I have a brace or anything like that, but all that stuff really makes a big difference in terms of how much survivability that you have. Again, I did not track that guy before hitting him. I should have. I checked to see and I saw that he had a dust, which is why I didn't want to go for it briefly. I did track him afterwards, luckily, but game kind of messed up here. Oh, I actually don't remember making it to the shrine. The power of raw HP, I guess. Okay, got my Ags finished though. Need to track him. I'm walking into the trees to very poorly better scout him. Boy, did we kill him. I basically just tracked and shurikened. And I probably, again, I did the same thing. I slapped before I tracked, which was stupid. There's literally no reason to do that. I could increase my damage by 40% by tracking first. Going for the backline because those heroes are easier to kill. But I also want to play a little bit careful. And I also want to get a lot of tracks built up first if possible. Now that they're back close together again, the Shuriken came out. So look at that damage. It was actually so good. So, something that I realized in this moment was that the stun duration on enemies when you have Ags goes up. This was a very old patch that I looked up prior to starting this replay commentary. But this was in patch 7.02, which is probably a really long time ago. Is this a hyperlink? Can I figure out when this was? So it's 2017, February. That's like 2.5 years ago this was added. The stun duration on Shuriken Toss goes from 0.1 seconds to 0.75. So it actually becomes a real stun. And obviously we know that an Ags lets your Shuriken bounce, right? So you're doing double damage. So rather than dealing 375 damage with the track, because that's basically how track functions right now, right? Is that if you track like 5 heroes and you throw Shuriken, it hits everybody once. That's really good. But if you buy Ags, now you're getting a double bounce. So in a moment like that, if I'm hitting a backline and hitting supports, and they're both tracked, instead of doing 375 to both heroes, I'm doing 750 damage. That's so much damage. And the fact that I got this so fast is definitely part of the reason that it was so much. But the fact that it also stuns for 0.75 seconds, that's pretty legitimate. That's like a 1.5 second stun on 2 heroes. And now all of a sudden, Bounty Hunter as a hero actually does have Teamfight. Now this was really bad. I fed for nothing. I literally just died. I slapped him, he had a dusk. He killed me, and I was like, oh, that was stupid. And he got literally 1,000 gold and probably at least a level. He's level 17 right now. It was like bonkers. But the team fight actually comes pretty heavily from the Ags. All I need to do is track at least 2 heroes. That's the only difference, right? It doesn't do it, but I was gonna say it doesn't do anything if you don't have 2 heroes tracked, but that's not even true either. If you track 2 heroes, you're getting double Shuriken bounces, so you're doing an extra 750 damage in a team fight. You're also stunning 2 heroes for 1.5 seconds, which is massive. That's a massive amount of stun duration. Lots of heroes are happy to stun a hero for 1.5 seconds. So, I don't know. The Ag seems really good to rush to me. Yes, it's not like a drum or whatever, but the amount of raw health that you're getting right off the bat, like literally, you spend 1,200 gold, you're getting 175 from a point booster, and then I'm spending 1,000 gold to get an ogre club. I'm all of a sudden running around with like 400 health, and it builds into an item that is really good once I complete it. So for a hero like Bounty Hunter, I actually think Ags is really good. Is what it feels like to me right now. I threw the toss just to get him like damaged, basically. Retracking again. And wild goose chase over here, dude. At this point, I had honestly given up, but apparently someone got the shackles. It all worked out in the end, and here's me like, oh, thank you, 250 gold. So I don't know, like it solves your bounty hunter issues, right? You're gonna be obnoxious. You're gonna be up close to enemies. You're gonna get gone on, and you're getting raw health. It also gives you raw mana pool with point booster. It solves your HP issues in the early game. Yes, you're not gonna necessarily have like a drum that helps your team or whatever, but I don't think the drum is really that needed anyways. Like I don't really have that many mana costs, frankly. Outside of like tracking people a lot, but the bottle kind of solves all of these, it feels like. The bottle phase 1. Again, maybe it's just because I'm ahead, but and then once Eggs is finished, my team fight problem is basically solved. Tons of raw stats. And yeah, I mean it's 300 mana and 500 health basically is what it gives me raw. With a bottle means that I can just refill all the time. So I don't know, this item build felt so good this game. I'll have to try more games where I don't win the laning stage, because then it's going to be harder to finish the item, of course. Especially if we're not getting kills. But we're getting kills and we won the laning stage, so maybe it just felt extra good. Who knows? Oh, it also increases your cast range by an extra 400 now. Cast range is 400 without Ags. Once you have it, it's 800. This looks... This is 400? I don't think that's 800. Maybe that's 400. It was stupid for me to walk here. I think they just dewarded in this area anyways. Got my gold though. And they double doomed us. It was a bad fight. I don't remember why exactly, but I feel like I saw them deward in this area, so I kind of knew they had a sentry. But yeah, it was just really bad play by me to run through there. It wasn't worth it. I needed to poke around, like sit outside here. This is usually the part of the game on Bounty Hunter where they have sentries kind of everywhere, so you have to be a little bit careful about how you cross and run and stuff like that. I'm also bought the tome because I've got the experience talent, so wanted to keep accelerating. It would have been pretty good for Warlock to have it too, arguably. But I kind of feel like getting to higher levels of track is maybe worthwhile, even though it's a long way to 18. I don't know, maybe I'm being selfish here. But if I get more health too, it's not bad. And yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm being greedy. Could just be greedy. Hey, I did the invis crit. Did I strike him? Okay, I did. It did bounce. It bounced from a spider to him. Hey man, the stun duration not bad. Even a 0.75 stun isn't the worst. It's kind of like lightning bolt on Zeus once you get the level 20 talent. Very similar. The other buff that he got shuriken wise was the level 20 talent. It went from 75 damage to 125. So once you hit level 20, then I'm dealing 500 damage per shuriken toss, which is also really good. Because it's basically saying that once I have Ags, you're doing an extra 250. So just felt very justified going Ags. It's definitely one of those times where IceFrog was like, hey guys, this hero's not good. People aren't playing him. But IceFrog's like, guys, seriously, the hero's fine. You're just not doing the right thing. And he's like, here, buff shuriken toss again with Ags. Buff Ags again. Got to convince everybody to do it though. Gave him a little slap there before he got E-bladed, so I couldn't steal his gold. I'm just gonna save my shuriken that way if he tries to teleport or something. But that's all fine. No, we kind of got to run at them a lot. Felt like, I mean, they could definitely set up kills potentially. They could do like, does Doom have a blink or something? Does he have anything? He actually doesn't have his blink yet. They're all pretty far behind. There's a Radiance on Lifestealer at least, but kind of like Brood is just like brooding by himself. I don't know why he went phase. Most Broods actually don't get boots. But he's got Ags now, so he's running around really quick. But most Broods don't get boots early. This guy did, which means that he's probably not a very good Brood mother. I stunned just to try to prevent his blink if he had one. And did he? He actually did, yeah. That's why I threw the shuriken. Let's watch it again from his player's perspective. He gets tracked. I throw the shuriken, blink is interrupted. Yeah, he gets killed. It's pretty much the only reason that we got him there, I think. My Force Staff was able to spot out Broodman. Oh my god, that was so much damage. And having track with Morphling is so god tier. When he goes E-Blade like this, it actually helps so much. Like, he doesn't look that raw healthy, but it's such an easy kill now. Any hero, I provide vision. Easy to do E-Blade. Track slap. Bounced on a creep to do some damage. Gonna steal some more gold. Oh, I missed. That's right, I forgot about that. I was very surprised in the moment because I was like, oh shit, I can steal 36 more gold before he teleports away from me. It's also crazy to think that Lifesteal over here has hit 195 creeps. I've slapped 69, and he's got less gold than I do.
Thank you.
It's kind of insane. One thing Bounty is really bad at, though, is pushing. It's a really, really weak pusher. I bought a Force Staff after Ags because it would be helpful to teamfights to help people survive, basically. I could push myself away if I got open wounds, if somebody got doomed, that kind of a thing. I really shouldn't be the one pushing the lane. This is really stupid. I should be running around looking at enemy heroes and stealing their gold. Talent-wise, I got more health, which I think is pretty solid. If you have buttloads of health, why not get some more, right? It's just going to make it more hard for your opponents to kill you. 50 attack speed is potentially very good too, especially with the crit from track, actually. It's probably the way that it's really fantastic. Just because you're dealing so much damage. It's what, 70% damage guaranteed once you track a hero? So if you have a 70% damage bonus, getting 50 attack speed is really nice. But I was kind of going into the shuriken train anyway, so I felt like just sticking with it basically, and getting more raw health would be the best way to do things. Checking my track distances here. This is basically the issue. I'm sitting up here pushing a creep wave. I don't get to spot these fights or set things up for my team. It's obviously bad. Just killed Earthshaker for free. Definitely want to track this guy. In fact, I want to track all the guys. It's time to Shuriken. The mighty Shuriken! They stopped bouncing. I'm really disappointed. Hell, stop. I think I had almost everybody tracked there, but it's a used to be 900 range. They have to be within 900 range, otherwise it doesn't bounce anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, 1200. Which isn't always easy, so. Double damage, more flank and stuff. And I look down and I'm like, oh, I'm stupid rich. Next item that I could buy. Lincoln's is actually pretty good this game because of Doom and Grimstroke ulti, that kind of a thing. But I was so rich, I was like, I'm buying a fucking Hex, dude. I could just get a Hex. It's like 27 minutes in, and I'm like, we can just have a Hex for the rest of the game. That's amazing, right? That's really good to have. So I just decided to get that. It wasn't necessarily amazing, but it worked out really good at times. It was very good against Lifestealer. I'm holding Alt here to see where I'm going to get detected. I just want to stand in a position that's going to allow me to spot enemies without me getting detected. Big fight. Need to track some people before I can comfortably go in. Definitely want to track Brood. I maybe should have stayed on the high ground, potentially, but we got doomed, so. Just want to keep retracking him if possible. Should have tracked the Lifestealer there. Should Shuriken probably, yeah. Hit the backline with Shurikens, which is good. Basically stop them from initiating, more or less. Oh god, I got wrecked. Or staff to safety. Oh, this track ult, dude. You got untracked, it looks like, by infesting. Actually, probably shouldn't have ran this way. Should have just like hit over there. Just like invis TP'd or something would have been safer than what I did. They killed the Grimstroke though, and I got bonus kill from that. Hi, little dog. Do you want to be loved on stream? Come here. Come here. Come. Come here. Hi. Come here. Up. Do I have to use a treat? Watch how fast she's gonna jump. Come here. Give me a kiss. Wait. 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 Okay. Good girl. Go back to your whining, dog. Okay, got my Hex finished. I think Lincoln's would have been pretty solid, but I don't know if it's needed. I just wanted to buy items that were like really impactful, basically, because I was so rich. Sold my bottle at this point. Bought a medallion as well. Medallion to keep armor up on allies and potentially keep them alive. Force staff the Morphling here. He looks very dead though. Used Hex. Likely way too late. Bounce my Shurikens. Earthshaker is dead. I like that though. Did I not want? I did not want here. The buyback though. That was not too bad for them. I should have probably hexed somebody earlier on there. I don't feel like I really reacted well. I also don't know if the medallion is a great item this game. I kind of feel like I should have bought something else. Even like, I don't know what the damage I'm taking this game is, but Maybe a pipe would be better. Maybe a Crimson Guard, something like that. Would have been a better use of items. Hex this guy here. I don't know why I striking like that. That was really stupid. I could have tracked Doom first. I believe I'm dead. That's my dieback. We're giving them a really good chance to win this game, even though they shouldn't have it. I still kind of felt pretty heavily in control, but this is like part of the issue, right? My Hex doesn't really do that much right now. I can initiate with it to like stun a guy, but the fights are like well, it's like 4 heroes running at 2 guys is what's happening.
Oh, this guy has no chill, man.
I could have hypothetically bought like a gem too. That would be kind of nice. Like that idea. I did buy the get their Strike and Toss damage talent. Forgot all about it. 500 damage. It's like a Finger of Death almost. On an 8-second cooldown. That was the other buff. Yeah, it went from 9 to 8 seconds. So basically the hardest thing about playing Bounty with this build, I guess, is that you have to cast a lot of tracks, and it takes more than 4 seconds to cast a lot of tracks, right? But you could definitely justify casting... You need to cast at least 2 tracks for the bouncing to work. That's why I was so stupid what I shurikened here. So if I had just tracked the Doom instead, then I could have gotten double bounces. Instead I just got a single shuriken out, which is not worth it. I think the Janata Gold Steel at 20 is probably a little overrated as well. It's a lot of gold, I guess. It kind of depends on the game circumstances, what heroes you're against. Because I could be stealing like 120 gold per slap, which is a lot. But you just don't get to use it that much, kind of. And if you're going Ags, 100% the Strike and Toss damage is going to be better. The 25 talent as well. I was looking at that and actually really felt like going Evasion this game would be better, without a doubt. The reason I think it'd be better is because I'm against a Doom, a Broodmother, and a Lifestealer. All 3 of those guys need to right-click me at some point, and they're not going to want to buy a Monkey King bar. So I felt like getting the Evasion talent would be super sick, especially because my HP is so high. But I think I ended up settling on the track gold. I think I got there. I don't know if we got a lot of track gold. It might have been like end of the game. But it increases both golds, the self bonus gold and the ally bonus gold. So that means when we get track kills as a team, my allies are getting like 400 gold each. It's insane how much gold it is. But usually by the time you get 25, it's harder to get there anyway. So I don't know if it's necessarily justified, but it's a potentially very good talent. A little bit of a hex here on the Broodmother. Good fissure though. I really need to track somebody else, and I haven't yet for some reason. I almost fucked that one up. I don't know why I didn't strike him. There's the track. There's a hex to follow it up with. Got some bouncers here. I appear dead. We did a really good job making this game hard, actually, as far ahead as we are. Yeah, I kind of thought he wasn't going to make that one. Why did he stay? So, felt like this was very throwy. Luckily able to kill the Morphling here. Or, I mean the Lifestealer. Oh, he went for the gem, I see. So many webs. I was trying to click on him really hard, that's why my mouse is moving. I was trying to click drag to see what items he had, and just to confirm if he had the gem. He actually did have it. But ultimately it didn't matter, we won the fight. I still think I probably should have had like a BKB or something like that, really. I mean, I'm never going to die if I have BKB over the Solar Crest. I don't even think I've used the Solar Crest yet. Just kind of like a common item for bounty. Basically, after I got Ags and Force, I think I kind of lost my way with my items. I think the Hex is fine though. But I probably should have gotten a BKB. Would have stopped a lot of headache in these fights. Or a Lincoln's maybe. I'm buying pipe. I must have been taking mostly magic damage. I think is why I ended up queuing up pipe. Make a giant golden pig. Have been bloomed. The E-Blade was way too late. Does my Wind Ranger have a Crystallis? He does. That ain't good. He needs a phase boots for the armor, probably. Would make a lot of sense. Kinda died a lot in these fights. Definitely more than needed to. Little tier 4s. Actually didn't get the attack speed. He did get a satanic though. Once again, we are doing our best to throw. Bounty runes for the team. Getting gold, probably the most important thing I could do there. It's a lot of gold. I'm scared to get close, so I'm just gonna drop a track and walk away a little bit. Save gems and stuff like that. It's just super dangerous. You dispel that? No, it's tracked. It's just not showing on the minimap during player perspective. It's just a replay bug, I guess. That's like the first time I've used my Solar Crest, more or less. Okay, pipe's ready now. So now I've got 56% magic resistance and 73 physical. This is basically how our ganks should be working. Should be smokes with me leading the way. That way, even if we run through sentry wards, which in that case, it really helped. Oh, I'm going too fast. So Chris did the Warlock. I'm gonna drop the 4 staff for the gem. Once again, can still do a hex potentially. No bounces. Okay. Offensive Solar Crest. And then finally the game was over. So we kind of won this game a little bit slower than should happen. There was like a lot of sloppy mistakes, kind of. Maybe something like a blink could be really good too, because it would help me get tracks off. Like I could definitely see some way that I don't necessarily think I should buy like an Aether Lens to increase cast range. That sounds kind of a little silly, but something like a blink could be really solid. Because if you ever get gone on, or if like they see you coming or something while you're invis, you could always blink away. Force staff isn't as reliable and isn't as quick. You can't disjoint, for example. So I feel like something like Ags into blink or force blink is really worthwhile, because then I could better like get in track range of the people that I need to or something, or I can hit the backlines easier potentially. Might be worth doing, because I have so much raw HP that if I like, I didn't really feel like I utilized the Ags much other than that one early fight. I feel like I could have done that a lot better if I had more mobility with a blink. The Force was great, but I didn't use it that much. But I feel like Force Blink Ags might be really solid. Or maybe just BKB would solve the problem too, so I wouldn't feel as worried walking into enemies. But yeah, I think try Ags out, guys. I think the rush is probably worth the sort of rush, but like bottle phase wand and then go Ags. Buy the raw HP items first, the point booster and the Ogre Club, and then I think bounty can work okay in your pub games. All right, I'm gonna go take my dog out before she shits her pants, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.